So the best way to convey to you Source meditation is, of course, to experience it. So we're going to do a few moments of meditation here. And the best way to kind of hold yourself in order to experience the energy as readily as possible. I've found in my experience over the years of teaching it that there are two types of focuses, two main types of focuses. One is an open, expansive focus. It's much more yin, it's much more fluid, it's about the release, the constant surrender and unfolding of your being. You stretch out into the vastness of eternity, endlessly, forever, and merge with that field of being. The second one is a much more focused, penetrative way of directing yourself. It's more of like the predator stalking its prey. It's an intensity, it's a single-pointed determination that you direct in a particular way. But initially, since you don't know where to focus that type of energy and that type of intensity, you don't know what prey you're stalking. I find that the best one is to allow yourself to be expansive and to be open. It is very much like being a baby bird. Most people have spent their lives very folded up, energetically speaking, like a little seed, kind of tucked up inside the shell. But when you start to experience the light, the energy of Source, it allows you to begin to unfold and grow. It expedites your maturation in terms of the expanding of your being. And it's exactly like being a baby bird and stretching out your wings for the first time and being able to feel the air currents move through your feathers and finally understand that there is this substance all around you that's been there all along, that you had no idea was there until you kind of fully came into the structure of your being and allowed it to expand, allowed it to stretch out. And then we're finally able to sense it. You know, we have these types of sensory aspects of our beings that very much are capable of sensing the energy in that same way. When you stretch it outside of the confines of your body, it's such a very simple thing that most people just don't intentionally do, hardly ever. Just reach out of this tiny little space inside your physical form into the space around you. Become aware of it as a substance rather than just empty space, which it isn't, as we all know intellectually. But it can also be known experientially, the same way that you can stop for a second and realize, oh, the air is a substance, and it's a substance so powerful that it can carry a 747, you know, from one side of the world to the other. It's pretty intense, that's pretty substantial. Energy is the exact same way. It can be just as substantial and just as powerful, but you need to be able to become aware of it and hone in on that frequency. So stretch out your mind into the air around you and continue to do that as I move into a meditative state. And it is generally helpful for people to look into my eyes because it allows you to make the connection to my being as I immerse myself in a state where I'm perceiving energy. It allows you to come to that place and attune yourself to that frequency more readily. So let's take a few moments and give it a shot. Let's see what happens. oftentimes you will find that the opposite focus to the one that you're good at is amazing medicine for you. It helps you make the most progress in some ways because it's the answer to your question of life, the universe, and everything. One is very yin and one is very yang, and in that way you can kind of, you know, draw your own conclusions as to the infinite ways in which they can combine, of course. So, start with that and see how far it gets you.